For today's cup of coffee with Scream.
Oh!
Expect screaming from all corners, angles. It is the silent. My soul is not silent. It is in that perpetual scream, that angst of living in the modern world. Part of it happened. I talked to oldest kid. He dragged some of this. No. He dragged some of this out of me because it's always there. It's just that it's verbalized when I speak with him. More so.
So the rest is internalized.
Yeah, pretty much. And so what it is, and I know that it's hard for him because I don't think he has the ADHD. Whereas the rest of us do. Mm-hmm. And so that must be very challenging for him. Now, when all of us are gathered together in the same room and you have a bunch of ADHD people, I'm the only one that's medicated. It can become very chaotic and it can be dizzying. Yeah. It really can.
Legit, it is pure chaos, and people that do not have ADHD, it wears them out. Yeah. It wears them out.
It does. And it's like, it's interesting. And I think this happens in families even that don't have the ADHD. I'm not sure about that. But it's like you can ask a question to a person and everybody else chimes in.
Yeah.
That can be very frustrating for me because there are times that I want to hear that specific individual's response. Not that I'm not concerned about everybody else's, but I want to hear that person, what they think. And then you have to worry about everybody else's feelings getting hurt.
That's why I pay attention. I try to pay attention to body language. If you're looking at a specific person, I know you're talking to them.
Yes, because each individual has the ability to answer for themselves. Mm-hmm. They don't need somebody else to talk for them. I want to know what they think.
Right. You want to know what that specific person knows.
Yes. And it's most interesting when you are in a group of people and you have other people, start to overtalk the individual that you are talking to. Is it attention seeking? Is it narcissism? Is it a matter of a control issue? And it can be a combination.
It's a variety.
Oh, yeah.
It's a mixed bag.
It is a total, complete clusterfuck. It's exactly what it is, which usually leaves people frustrated and uninformed. And the question never gets answered.
Yeah, it gets us nowhere.
Uh-huh. And we've got a lot of that going on in our world today. And that was one of the things that oldest kid and I were discussing. And he has had years to just research and study and different things. And it's just like, it's incredible. I mean, he big brain.
Yeah.
He's
got a big head with a big brain.
He does. He has an oversized head. He really does. It's hard to buy the child hats. Always has been. It has been. It's true. Oh, yeah. People think we're laughing about that. But no, statistically, he's had measurements done.
Listen, you need to have a big head to contain a big brain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's frustrating for him at times because he likes hats. He really does. So he's sort of relegated to like stocking caps and different things like that. Something that's stretchy.
At one point, he told me that I need to endeavor into making hats. So I think that was a hint in making him hats.
Haberdashery is a lost art that needs to be brought back.
That's a word you never hear, is haberdashery.
But we should.
Yeah.
We need people to actually custom make lots of things.
Haberdashery, it makes hats, belts, and ties. Mm. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I just know that they did hats. I was thinking about I knew a gentleman way back when that did belts and different things like that. Leather crafts. And it was incredible.
Yeah.
He made me the coolest redneck belt one time. Had my name on it and everything.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck
and it's
yeah.
like
The badass belts.
Well, it's back in the day when you could have cool things like that. Mm-hmm. You really could. And he had been a veteran. I don't remember what Navy. I know he was in the Navy because it was a story in and of itself. But that was what he did. He was retired and everything, and as extra income and stuff, he would make leather works. They were close enough to Gatlinburg and stuff that he probably sold it in one of the shops down there.
You know what? Yeah, he probably did. Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So there's lots of things like that people could bring back into being to find a need, figure out what skills can fill that need, and go forward. But Oldest Kid and I were talking about just the state of the world and as it is, and how did we get from point A to point B. And he is very studied on histories and different things like that, church histories, world histories. You can ask him about the Roman Empire sometime. He will tell you in detail. I think a lot of millennials can.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing was that there's a meme going, he'd be like, X was my Roman Empire. Mm-hmm. Something was my Roman Empire.
Because there's a lot of things that we don't understand. Honestly, we don't understand how we got from point A to point B. And we went down the road as far as the serfdom and everything like that. And people now are actually working longer hours than a medieval serf.
Yes. Isn't that fucking crazy?
And that, as far as even
for less pay,
the class system that they had, serfs didn't have to worry about being sent off to war because you had a different class of people, the knights and the stuff like that. That was their job. Mm-hmm. We've devolved horrifically. Yeah.
Yeah, that is certainly a thing.
And even as far as for him, he was talking about the medical and the psychological services and stuff like that, and he's like, they have convinced people that there is some kind of disorder within them if they are depressed. And I'm like, there's not a problem with people being depressed. It is a matter of awareness. Depression is the correct response to what's going on right now. And he's like,
yeah, I agree with that.
Some of us have known that for many, many years. But sometimes you have to allow other people in their journey to reach their own conclusions. Mm-hmm. And I know people are like, what in the hell have you got as your backdrop today? This is, it all in my mind, and I may have forgotten my Stratera today, it all works together because there's all kinds of dots being connected. It was a matter
of like a bug in a web.
We walked into the living room, and youngest kid's over there going, I smell Stinkbug. What is it? Where is it?
Where is it?
And I got to noticing that's what that is. It is a stink bug caught in a spider's web, and the spider needs to hurry up just a little bit long, faster.
They don't eat stink bugs.
Well, whatever it is, it could just kill it.
We just have to wait for it to die. We have to wait for it to starve out.
The reason I noticed it is because the previous carcass had dropped a couple of days ago.
That's because the spider will cut bugs out of their web.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and I think that's what people need to do a lot of times.
Yeah. That is.
And that's part of the season that we're in spiritually right now. Sometimes you got to cut bait and run.
You do.
Pick your battles.
It's like with fishing. Sometimes you got no choice but to cut the line.
Uh-huh.
Or else it's going to break your pole.
Absolutely. But it's also a matter of tracking it down. What is the origin of this? But realizing even if you find the origin of it, not everything can be saved.
Right.
That was a really hard realization for me.
Yeah. I mean, that's a hard realization for anybody.
And Kid has this amazing understanding on as far as being female. There's a lot of things about my half of the species that I am very much aware of. There are things that I'm not aware of. And to have a male perspective of this is what's going on. And to sit there and be able to listen to him without judging him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's needed.
Yeah. And it's just like you've got some of these younger ones, and it was like we were talking about the epiphany that some of these younger women had that there's no sisterhood. No shit. No shit. Any of us that have worked around large groups of women understand this. We do not play well together. Especially the young ones. And some of us, we just never were like that. And it's not every woman. But there are some that you can have a conversation with a man, just discuss something. Mm-hmm. Without worrying that he's trying to somehow stab you in the back somehow. Because my God, in the Sewing Factory, that is an eye-opener. If you ever thought that there was some kind of female camaraderie, that will break your illusion in about a day and a half.
I think that's any place that there is mass female employment.
You saw it when you were down there at the cosmetology school.
Yes.
And I warned you that it's, my God.
And they would say, "Oh, we don't do this," and I would watch it. It's like, yeah, you do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do.
Now, not all of them.
No. There was only a few that did not do that.
Right. Very few. And a lot of times they were on the receiving end.
Yes.
And if you are on the receiving end, you can fight back if you want to, but what do you win? I have found out when somebody is saying something remarkably stupid, silence is a lot of times the best response. Mm-hmm. Just to stand there and look at them.
We got no ammo.
To sit there and go, that really came out of your mouth. Because I inherited from my father. I can give people this look.
It's a death glare.
Oh, no, it's just one of those, wow, that was remarkably stupid.
It's a death glare. It's like, oh, I really fucked up. When you get those looks, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
Makes you want to crawl under the pavement or crawl into the ground some way.
It's just one of those that, again, pick your battles wisely.
Yeah.
And Robert Phoenix was talking about that. And this morning, we're recording this on May the 13th, 2025. Pick how much ammo you got. That's your energy, whatever, because that is an allotment.
Yeah.
Some of us are more aware of our physical energy. Some of these people that's like, oh, I'll just go for days and miles. Good for you. Get a little age on you. Some of us who's got a little age on us, so it's like, whew.
Yeah.
Pick your battles. And I love this quote by Mark Twain, because perception is a lot of our reality and how that has been warped various and sundry ways. Indoctrination through movies, TV, schooling.
Yeah.
All this started with Razorfist and his thing about Lincoln. Because for anybody who bought into the public school bullshit about what Abraham Lincoln did, I will put a link in the description box. You can listen to Razorfist. He's a millennial, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is a millennial.
Because it will bust your bubble.
Yeah. And then there was this historian dude that made 2 videos in response to his.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
And trying to debunk basically what he was saying.
How could he debunk it? Because he told the truth. But there are people that absolutely will fight to stay alive.
Because he's got the historian plaque,
Oh my God.
I don't. Some of those people like that, like, dude, like.
Yes,
I could just tell. Like, some people, just by looking at them, you can tell that they're full of shit.
Sure.
And he's certainly one of those people. The historian dude is certainly one of those people that is full of shit.
How dare you think and research and study for yourself? You don't have a piece of paper. For me, Dad, I sit there and go, cram that piece of paper up your ass, because that's what it's worth.
Literally.
I've got pieces of paper. They're worthless.
He's sitting on he's making making fucking YouTube videos. Obviously that
arguing with Razorfist.
Obviously that degree did not do him jack shit.
Oh, if you're not familiar with, for those of you all who may not be familiar with Razorfist, I mean, he is old school shock jock delivery. I don't agree with everything that the man says, but a lot of the stuff he says, he's spot on. And he was certainly spot on about Abraham Lincoln. Mm-hmm. I had waited for years for somebody to put that out there. And I was sitting there, he's the one that spins in the chair and it's like, fuck you, I was right on a lot of this stuff. Because, yeah, he can take a victory spin. But anyhow, Mark Twain, this wonder, he was such, we've had philosophers in different guises, and they're not always recognized for who and what they are. Mark Twain was one of them. He said, I've had a lot of worries in my life, most of which never happened. Yep. The suffering a lot of times is caused by our own diseased thoughts and perceptions.
Yep.
He was like kid the other day. We're taught to overthink everything instead of just live, be, and do.
Well, then now that I said a certain thing, now I'm overthinking here.
Yes. He was like, I realized the other day, all I have to do when I've got all these thoughts I don't want, I lift them up to God. I said, good, you figured it out. Did you get relief?
Yeah.
Yes. So what does he start doing? He starts overthinking it.
Well, no, I said, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
I feel that. Dun-dun.
So it's one of those, this season that we're in, be prayerful, be aware. Don't cast your pearls before swine. As far as arguing with somebody or something like that, no, because there's a lot of people, there's a lot of feds out there that are trying to bait you into arguing.
The glowies.
Absolutely. To try to get you into some kind of discussion. Internet is forever.
Well,
whatever you say can and will be used against you.
Yeah. Have you seen the dead internet theory?
Yes. We are not the dead internet, trust us.
We are real people. Live. Real people.
We're too janky to be anything other than live.
I love the janky. I love janky videos. Do you not remember the early 2000s with early YouTube?
How many people would dare use Stinkbugs as a backdrop? I mean, really.
I would.
We do.
Yeah.
We dare.
We dare.
We dare. So
and that's what you need to do. Dare.
Find out if your suffering is
dare to do
purposeful or not. Mm-hmm. And a lot of this, it's like, what can you do about it? Yes, the world is in the situation as it is. We all bought a ticket to ride. Do what God puts in front of you today.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep, yep. You know, the perception is reality thing.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that in beauty school. That's what one of the instructors drilled into us.
Yeah.
It's like perception is reality. But in like, that's not always so. Like,
no.
It may be reality for that person, but that does not mean it's actually reality.
No, it's not. But as far as appearance and stuff, we have seen some people that it was their essence that was attractive. Not necessarily the physical.
Yeah.
That was like one of my all-time favorites, Alice Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
The man is not pretty to look at. He never was.
No.
Razorfist did an excellent, as far as discography about Alice Cooper. He said one of the bases to looking good in your old age is to not look good to begin with. It's true. But it's that essence that anybody can develop.
Yep, yep, yep. That is true.
So if you got stink in your life, find the source. See if you can get the stink out. Used furniture. It's like we were talking about. Should we talk about the used furniture?
No.
Kids over there, God, Mama's on a tangent. She's on a roll.
In Goodwill, we had to disinfect a lot of furniture.
Yeah. Think very, be careful if you're buying used furniture. Always. You may get stink bugs or worse.
Oh.
Don't
put your face up to it.
No. All of it is a spiritual battle every day. Every day.
Yep.
You can deny it, but that does not stop that from being reality. Yeah.
If you deny it, you're dissociating.
People want to I want to see some spooky stuff. I want the paranormal. You're in it. You're living it.
Yeah.
Be aware of it.
Yeah. The Benadryl iceberg.
Okay. As far as, did you see the Hat Man?
I didn't do it.
Okay. Well, that's probably better right now.
I found out if you take copious amounts of Benadryl, it will do bad things to you.
Yes, you can OD on the stuff.
Yeah.
Don't do that. They use things prescription as prescribed. That's literally it. Oh, dear God. Do you want to tell the people where we can be found?
You can find us on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube at Rolanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also, check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, Rolanda COCWS.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us.
Over there on X. That is one of the best barometers of human thought, different things like that you could ever ask for. It's an amazing measurement tool. Don't think it's not being used for that. It is.
Oh, it certainly is.
And as far as manipulating and hurting people and stuff like that, it's being used for that too. Be discerning. Mm-hmm. But other than that, you can have fun on there.
Yeah.
And you just have to limit who you talk to and what you want to engage in. And it's just like, no.
Yeah.
Some of it I don't have time for. Know that you are loved. Treat other people the way you would like to be treated. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yep, yep.
Bye.